everybody, welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. It is Thursday, the 16th of November. I kind of feel like it's the late edition because I'm here a bit later than usual, but for those of you that are catching this late in the evening or early tomorrow morning, I apologize. I had a couple of things going on this afternoon, was actually cooking with some friends at my church, so I'm a little bit late on the video, but actually it's pretty good because we got some aftermarket moves that we can discuss. For those of you that are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. What we do each and every day is we look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets, and we look at those markets from a technical perspective only, identifying potential turning points and breakouts and trade setups. Now, the important thing is that when we identify trades, we leave the lines on the charts. And the reason that we leave the lines on the charts is 100% accountability. You can see all the trades as they unfold, and what you'll notice is sometimes we wait quite a while for levels to meet entry on some of our trades. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's go ahead and start with the S&P. So our S&P position, the ES, you can see that we actually, now this is a level that we identified probably nearly a week ago as a potential short entry. So we are in this short right now. If you're in this thing, if I trim this down to the 15-minute chart, you'll notice that right in here, there's a little bit of fair balance pricing area there that may stall from us falling any further. So you might want to manage your stop fairly tightly, but this trade is working out pretty well. It's moved up. You know, we had a very strong bullish day today, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing, you know, get down here to about 25.80. If it gets down to 25.80, I think you're going to start to see a bit of another reversal and head back up. So keep your stop fairly tight on this one, but this one is working out for us. So if you want to, you can do the money dance or the hip hip hooray dance, whatever it is. But that dance will be quickly muted by the oh no, I got stopped out dance in the Nasdaq. Now look at this Nasdaq level. So today's Nasdaq level got completely blown through. This is one of the most frustrating things in all of trading, I will tell you. And you know, one of the things I try to do on this daily review is to be very raw. And one of the most frustrating things on the planet is to miss a trade by a tick, only to see it go your way, and then to get stopped out on your next trade. Anybody ever have that happen? Has anybody ever felt the pain of that? And that has a lot to do with the psychology of trading. Now, what I'll tell you is none of that matters because we follow the plan. This doesn't make me too happy, and this doesn't make me too sad. And when you work in that fashion, life gets a lot easier. Because, for example, this trade was about a 7-point loss in the Nasdaq. However, this one we're sitting on about a 6-point win so far in the S&P. I'll take a 6-point win over a 7-point loss any day of the week, knowing that the win is worth $50 a point, the loss is only worth $20 a point. And the win has a potential to continue to run for a lot more. So, you know, remember though that this Nasdaq level, if you see, is a purple line. And for those of you that are used to the channel, the purple line means that it's a small time frame opportunity. Smaller time frame opportunities will always be considered lower probability in my book. So I'm going to take this one off. This is obviously no longer a valid trade going further. And we have, with this rally up, put ourselves in a brand new all-time high in the Nasdaq. So there's no way that I'm looking at any other short opportunities. When I go to back to this hourly chart and look on this small time period, you might have, if we do get a retest back into here, this might be an area right in here to be excited about if we get a retest back into that region. I would like to see an opportunity for a long breakout from here, but certainly we're nowhere near setting up for the formation for that. Crude oil. Crude oil has done a whole lot of nothing the last couple of days. I was actually speaking to a former student of mine, a friend of mine today, and we were talking about oil just kind of bouncing between that 55 and 45 range for the last couple of, frankly, years, right? If you go back years, you can see that between 55 and 45, oil has just been hanging around in that 55 to 45 range. And had a really hard time really busting through there. And I don't see us busting through there anytime soon. Matter of fact, on the hourly chart of oil, I'm being There's a lot of macro fundamentalists that are very bearish on oil. I'm just staying, I'm just trading the probabilities. And right now, the probabilities tell me that there's no reason to try to force a trade in between these regions. Next would be gold. Gold is another one. If you notice here, we've got a fair amount of chop over the course of the last few weeks. We picked up a couple of points on a breakdown from gold earlier in the week, but have not been able to capitalize on any of these recent reversals. None of these reversals occurred at high probability turning points for me, and so I still don't have anything to add for gold based on our opportunities. Nothing has really poked out its head and saying, hey, trade me. And I'm certainly not going to force the trade. Even if I go down to the 15-minute time period, you might have something up here, but I don't really like the way this upper wick came back up into here before then falling back down. So I'm just going to leave it alone. There's just some days you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, you got to know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run. Bonus points if you know who's saying that. All right. So here is the bond markets. So the bond markets were still waiting on a breakout over this level here. Price has not gotten anywhere near that. Yesterday I talked about a potential about going long on this level here and said, nah, I'm not going to do it. Figures, but that's okay. Can't catch them all, and I'm not going to do it today. So there's really nothing in the bond markets for me to talk about. Not a whole lot also in the Aussie markets for me to talk about. We had taken the short on the breakdown below this level. If you're still in this trade, I think it is about time to take the stop and move it to about here. Lock in a little bit of profit because I don't see us coming back above here before then a strong drop. If you're not in this, or if you're in it and you want to add to it, if we break below this 75, 71 level and you want to add to the position, it may not be a bad idea to add on at that point. The euro. Now, the euro has had some strong moves this week. And, to be blunt, I feel like I've missed a couple of them because I definitely should have been able to spot this reversal right through here, all this area up in here. This little reversal that we had earlier today was a higher potential one. So I'm actually going to go on the euro a bit lower on my level and my opportunity, and I'm going to use it's a small time frame one, but I am going to put this one on the chart. Now, once again, fairly small area. And I'm going to go to a 15-minute to show you where that is, and we're going to make this area in purple. And it's just this little bit of fair price. Now, it's the fair price area above this pivot low, and that's what I like about it. And let me explain why. The reason I like this setup is because think about this for just a minute. Think about the new iPhone, right? People get in line to buy the new iPhone, and you have your early adopters, and the early adopters will pay whatever they need to pay for it to get it. And then as the price comes down, then you get people who really step in and buy it, right? And that's really where the big bulk comes in. Well, think about the price when it was down here. Your early adopters stepped in and wanted to buy, and they drove it up. And then you had your early majority that stepped in and wanted to buy as well. But there wasn't enough orders. There were too many buyers to fulfill the number of sellers out there, and boom, price rallied up. But there's probably still some early majority that wants to buy, and they want to buy in this price point. That's the way I see it. I kind of think of it as group dynamics. So this area becomes a potential going forward. I'm going to change this, however, to a purple line because technically it is found on the 15-minute chart. And so I want to reduce it to the purple level because that's going to be a slightly lower probability for me. Okay, so that one is a something to add onto your charts. In the euro, the Canadian dollar still just we're just skating in between the blue lines for my Canadian friends. We're just hanging around in between the blue lines playing trap, and there's just a lot of boredom happening. So I want price to break out of one of these areas or give me a reversal down here, and until then I got nothing. Last one here. So looking at nat gas, didn't come anywhere near our nat gas level. Great British pound, did we create a new area today? Potentially right in here, there's a new area for a reversal. If price does come down into this region, I think we could get a bit of a reversal. I'm not going to put it on there yet. I want to see how we arrive. So as we arrive there, I may watch the Twitter feed for any updated tweets that I may have if I decide to put a level on there. The Japanese yen, we still just missed out on this little level. And once again, this is the kind of things that drive me to drink bourbon at night. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, this little miss out here, and then boom, price has really rocketed up since then. There's no reason that I'm going to take that area away. When I go to the daily, I think we're going to get a little reversal right in here on the daily. So keeping an eye on this region on the daily chart, we're getting there. So we may see a bit of a reversal when I slide out to the hourly. And that area that I just highlighted is right in here. Well, you know, it looks prettier on the daily chart than it does on the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, it might be just this top pivot area right here. Just this top little pivot area right here is about the only thing that I see. For a potential reversal, and it's not blue, it's the wrong tool. Let me put the right drawing tool on there. So there's a little level there in the Japanese yen that we can add to our list. So that's our levels for today. If you have any questions or something you'd like to see, do me a favor, leave a comment. I do my best to try to read all the comments as best I can. Thank you so much for those of you that like the page and are listening to the page. If there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will talk to you all soon. Thanks. See ya.